The slice approach is also an important type of approach shot to master because sometimes your opponent's going to hit the ball short, but it'll still stay low, and it'll be difficult to hit up on with a lot of topspin and be aggressive. So that slice allows you to hit an aggressive ball and follow it into the net. And also the slice will stay low when it bounces, and that forces your opponent to hit up on the tennis ball, which could give you an easy volley, a volley that's a little bit higher over the net that you can hit down on. Now, the most typical type of a slice approach shot is the backhand slice approach. So we'll start with that. And the mechanics of the slice approach shot are pretty much the same as just a normal slice backhand. And that's what I'm shadowing here to start. I'm not moving. The main difference, just like the topspin backhand approach, is the footwork. You're going to take a karaoke step where your back foot, which is my right foot in this case since I'm a lefty, will step behind my front left foot as I hit. So if we watch that, as I hit that shot, as I slice the ball, my right foot comes behind my left foot, and that allows me to stay sideways and still close in on the net. So if we watch the full sequence now, I'm going to start at the baseline, close on my approach shot like I'm doing here, and then I slice the ball and stay sideways with that drop step. And then from here, again, I continue to close the net. And if we clip to this view here, looking over the net, you'll see that my placement is again the same. I go down the line with some margin for error with the sideline and the baseline, and this ball is going to stay a little bit lower and hopefully force my opponent to hit up on the ball so I can put the next volley away. The forehand slice approach is not a shot you'll typically use. If you get a short ball, most of the time you want to roll over it, but sometimes you'll have to either slice it, or if your opponent's playing really far back, it can be a good change-up. It'll force him to hit up on the ball, and again, that can give you an easier volley. And the technique for the forehand slice approach is pretty similar to a forehand volley. Behind me here, I'm hitting a slice approach, and when I pivot out with my outside foot and get my racket into position, this looks pretty similar to how I prepare to hit a forehand volley. And the main difference really is the length of my swing. I'm going to swing a little bit more because I have to put a little bit more juice on the tennis ball. But the mechanics again are the same. I step in with my inside foot and then I hit pretty much through the ball. I'm not really slicing down too much. And if we clip to the view from over the net, you'll see that I hit this ball down the line, and then hopefully it's going to hit and not bounce too high and set me up for an easy volley on the next shot. If we go back to the side view, I'm going to start at the baseline now, and the one thing that I want to point out, when I close, I'm not going to get my body sideways when I move through and hit the tennis ball. And that's the same thing that happens on the volley. You don't get as sideways on a volley as you do for your typical forehand or backhand ground stroke. So as I close on the tennis ball, again, when I get near the ball, I kind of pivot out and get my racket into position, and then I'm going to step forward my inside foot, swing through the tennis ball, kind of like a volley, longer swing, and then I'm going to continue to close the net, hit my split step, and be ready for the volley. Oh.